So welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar where we're going to talk about what's new in Qualifio. I'm Tabata. I'm the product marketing specialist here at Qualifio. So I work on the product team and I'm very excited to be hosting this session with Olivier, who is our head of product.
Yes, me too. Thank you, Tab.
Hi. So just a little housekeeping before we get into the serious stuff. First, of course, if you have trouble hearing us, please say so in the chat. If you miss anything, don't worry, because we'll be sending around the recording when it's available. Also, we'll be running a live Q&A at the end of the session. So you have a Q&A feature at the bottom of your screen. So if you have a question for any of us, just pop them in there. And also we'll be launching a couple of polls during the webinar, just to get your opinion on a few things. So don't hesitate to tell us what you think. So without further ado, I'd like to kick things off with the agenda for today's session. So basically, we're going to share how you can use a couple of new features in the platform, including the runner game, OneBed, the quizzes with instant check, system phones, and Prefill optins informed via their URL. And we'll be looking at some upcoming features as well. Let's go. I'm going to start with a focus on a couple of recent features that we've added to Qualifio. First of which is the runner game. So the runner game was really built to test the reflexes of participants. So they have to continuously run through a theme or universe of your choice. And of course, they can jump or slide to avoid obstacles. They can collect bonuses to get more score. And basically, the whole point of the game is to run as far as they can to get the best score. So today this format is a bit special because it's only available via the Qualifio Studio, which means that it is not included in your Qualifio subscription. The idea is that it's really going to be a custom game that can incorporate your branding or one of your partners' branding. And based on your briefing, you can tell us which kind of scene, so which kind of landscape you would want. Are the protagonists running through snow, through your store, why not, through the desert, whatever. You can, of course, customize what the player character will look like, what the obstacles will be, what the bonuses will be. You can decide on the life total, on the music. Really, the idea is that this game is really going to be super customized, and for that, we have to build it for you. So it's available upon request. It's not like the other games in Qualifio. We can hook you up with one of our designers in our studio and you can build it together. So second topic for today is OneBed. So if you're not familiar with OneBed, that's fine. I'm just going to dive a bit into what it is. Using OneBed is pretty simple, really. So the normal use case is when you, as a Qualifio user, are also a user of a CMS, or you have a website, let's say, you can simply copy paste a direct URL to the campaign that you want to add to your website. And when you do that, the link is magically going to transform into, well, an embedded version of your campaign. So it's really designed to avoid that part where you need to, mess with copying and pasting some JavaScript code. And maybe you're not comfortable doing that. Maybe you're not comfortable for your team to do that. Or maybe your CMS just doesn't really support it. So here you can just take, as you can see in the example, really all I had to do is paste the URL and then, well, this is in WordPress, but really it automatically renders the campaign. And that's all you have to do. You're in the visual mode of the editor and that's it. So the idea was really to make it even easier to place campaigns on all of your websites. And then the third topic for today, which I'm really excited about, is the quiz with instant check. So basically in the quiz with instant check, the specificity is that we are going to handle the correct and incorrect answers of the participants, well, instantly. So just a bit like in the example that you can see on the slide, if the answer is correct, then it will get added to the screen right away. And if it's incorrect, then the new thing is that the participant can try again and again and again, because this format supports unlimited attempt. So this is pretty new in Qualifio because it wasn't really possible before. And now I'll be giving a few campaign ideas on how you can use this instant check in your quizzes. And here is the first one. So this is just to give you a sense of how it works. We know that the next World Cup is not exactly around the corner, but it doesn't really matter, because here the idea is that you can engage well, your audience around that topic. You can, in this particular example, what we did is use the instant check to celebrate stars players and really bring people together by testing their football knowledge. So it's pretty easy. People just enter like a player name. We give them hints. So they have to find which player scored in a World Cup final, while the hints are, we give them the year it happened and the team that the player was on. So yeah. And while we're talking about sports, I want to highlight another idea which builds on both this instant check feature. So again, as you can see, there is a field where we ask the participant to enter like the full name of the cyclists. And we give them as hints the photo and the number of stage wins that this person has. The difference is a little bit how we are going to display all of the possible answers. And I see that we have a question. For some reason, I can't seem to open the Q&A. Olivier, can you maybe...
Yes. So the question from Michael was, is it with the instant check always yes or no, or is there also an almost check? So basically, it's yes or no, but you can give several possibilities. In the example here, you can say that for some people, someone to find Christopher Froome, they could type in Christopher Froome, they could type Froome, they could type Froomey, and then all these would be granted as a correct answer. But you cannot have half a point because you typed Geraint Thomas, and it's not so far if you're a bit into cyclism. But yeah, so it's really yes or no, but you can have multiple correct answer for the same answer here.
Yeah, so it's really going to be up to you to decide which answers are acceptable and which ones are not. I don't know. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, so really here, the smart thing about this campaign is that we combined the quiz question with instant check and the cumulative quiz. So just sort of short reminder about that. I don't know if everyone here is familiar with this, but quizzes with cumulative points make it possible to answer different quiz questions over, like a couple of days, couple of weeks, and participants have the possibility to aggregate a total score, and you can reveal a final winner at the end. So in this example, as you can see, this would be the question that pops up on day 9 of the quiz. So changing the subject a little bit. So here we kind of had a lot of fun creating this really epic music quiz. Here the participants have to guess song names based on the initials and a photo of the artist. So as you can see, what is happening is I enter the correct answers. They get added to the right spot on the screen. And if I enter an answer that is not correct, then I can just try again and change my answer. So really here, what I want to highlight is kind of the endless possibilities that you have to play with hints. So you see we have text hints that are displayed within the answer fields. There are image fields. And so we decided to combine both just to make the quiz a bit easier to complete. Another example is a picture quiz. So picture quizzes are super common, very easy to set up as well. You just have to create your quiz, enter like the text of the question, the acceptable answers, upload your picture, and you're done. So this one features dog breeds, but of course you could have, I don't know, celebrities, politicians, cars, whatever makes your audience tick. And to make the quiz even more interesting, what we could imagine is if participants have to guess like 1, 2, 3, 4 dog breeds or something else, then you can let Qualifio randomize the questions for you. And so questions will be changed for every participant who takes the quiz and for every attempt they make. But of course, you can also have the quiz organized in fixed order if you'd prefer. The next example is, I think, Qualifio team's favorite. So as you can see, there are a lot of great examples of providing immediate feedback on answers. But this one challenges participants to escape from a haunted place. And how they do that is that they have to solve a couple of like investigation questions, I would say. So in the example that I put here, basically they have to find some hints of or some helpful objects in an image. But the very nice thing about this format is that you can actually combine different question types. So here we use the instant check as part of as a more extensive quiz, and we combined it with clickable images, but it could be really like any type of question that you want, just to bring a bit of variety and make the quiz more engaging. But you can, of course, also use it on its own. Okay, so this one is also interesting because what we wanted to highlight is, of course, the educational aspect of quizzes. So let's say that you want to teach your community about the seasonality of food. So this could be quiz that could help you reach your objective. And of course, all of the kind of gamification elements, which you could add in already existing quizzes, are available in this type of question as well. So here we've added a timer to limit the period that is required to complete the question. We've also added a leaderboard, but these are really gamification elements that are going to make participants stick and really, engage with the content. Another one that I really love is the movie quiz. So this one is pretty long because we love movies at Qualifio. So we didn't know whether we would make a quiz about, superheroes, James Bond, Disney, fictional worlds, or whatever. So we made this quiz that we called like the mega movie quiz because participants have to find 30 movie references from one image. And the interesting thing about this use case is that you can, it's possible, of course, as in any other quiz, to craft end messages, which can be triggered based on the participant's individual score, as well as, of course, personalized follow-up emails. And so in this case, let's say that I only found 15 movie references, but I still want to take part in the contest. So I'm still going to be able to go to the next step, get my score, get to the exit screen, even though I have not found all of the references. And then a last one for the road. You know how a lot of people had to cancel or change their vacation plan due to coronavirus? Like, raise your hand if you had to. this quiz is featuring images from around the world. And it includes a lot of famous landmarks. And the idea was kind of like, you know, allowing people to kind of travel on the computer without leaving their couch. And basically they have to find, you know, the name of the landmark based on the city where it lies and kind of a very zoomed in picture. Yeah, so that's about it. Something very interesting also to know for you. When you're going to analyze the statistics of this type of quiz, you of course will get individual scores for each person that took the quiz. So that's something you don't have to worry about. So that's it. By now you've seen, you know, like our 8 favorite campaign ideas, but really the idea is that there are a lot of possibilities, and so you can create really the quiz that is going to fit your audience's needs, of course. Yeah, so let's move on to the next topic. So it's a smaller one, but it's kind of powerful. So the idea here is that we have added a new option in the fonts that are available in the look and feel step of any campaign. It's called system fonts. So if you're not really familiar with that topic, system fonts are basically fonts that are pre-installed on users' computers. And now in Qualifio, you can select that option for your campaign. So the magic of it is that it is going to match the like whatever font is, you know, installed by default on the user's operating system, which will result in a very comfortable, easy to read look for a campaign, and B, in a boost of performance, because simply the browser of the participant won't have to download any extra font files, you know, like to display whatever custom font you might have chosen. So it felt very important to offer this as a possibility because, you know, sometimes the branding is very important and you need to have your custom font, which is totally understandable. But sometimes like it's not that important and you might want to have something that is, yeah, a bit more comfortable, I would say. So this is available for...
A small note on that, it's very much used currently on mobile applications. So if you know that you have a lot of traffic coming from mobile devices, then it's very much used widely on the internet. Small parenthesis, sorry, Taba.
Thank you. No, thank you, Olivier. So yeah, small but mighty, as I was saying. And then I have one last topic for you today, which is the ability to pre-fill opt-ins in forms via the URL. So you know how it was already possible to pre-fill forms via like links. So by simply adding URL parameters made of your own CRM variables to the URL, it will pre-fill the form fields on the form, which you can then choose to hide or show, or also like make read-only. Well, now it's going to be, I mean, it is already possible for opt-ins to do the same. So like the very high value of that is that if someone is already subscribed to, say, your newsletter, then you can hide the opt-in from them on the form because, well, you know, they're already subscribed. They don't need to see that again. Which, well, yeah, can help you improve UX, make your form shorter, improve conversions, all of that. So again, small, very mighty thing. We're very excited that we can bring this possibility to Qualifio forums. Yeah, so I don't see any questions for now. I hope everything I explained was clear enough. And you know how I said that we had a few polls coming up, so we have a question for you. Just going to launch this.
I just did it.
Okay, yeah, you were fast. Okay, so we're just going to leave a couple of seconds for you to answer that. But really the idea is that we're trying to understand like which one of the features I just introduced will bring the most value to you and which one you are, you know, very excited about. Yeah, I see a lot of people are answering. That's very nice to see.
That's super exciting.
Okay, just a couple more seconds so that everyone gets a chance to vote. It's a tied race, huh? We have, I don't know if everyone was able to vote, but we have like exactly the same percentage for, I'm just going to end the poll so that I can share the results with you. So yeah, a lot of people are very enthusiastic about quizzes with instant check and pre-filling opt-ins. Awesome. And quite a lot of people on OneBed as well. That's very, very nice. Cool. Thank you for your feedback, everyone. Yes. Okay. So don't forget, if you have any questions, just pop them into the Q&A feature that you have at the bottom of your screen. And now I am going to give the mic to Olivier for a sneak peek of what's coming to Qualifio.
Thank you, Tab. So maybe you can go to the next slide.
Yes, of course.
All right, so what do we have in the coming weeks and month? Basically, we have a bit of old taste for everybody. We have some improvement in the UX of the back office. We have some runner-like format. We have some data, very data things. And there is also a link to the roadmap. Maybe I will start with the last item because, well, it was not later in the slides. So basically, you have at all time access to the roadmap, and you can also vote on or comment the roadmap elements, of course, but also vote for upcoming elements that are not yet in the roadmap. So that's linked to a tool we're using. You probably have been added to it or using it yourself, so that you can already check that out afterwards when we send the presentation over. Okay, so the first item I would like to cover with you is a pre-selected and required opt-in. So as you know, I've been talking about how to pre-fill the opt-ins. Here we're really on the back office, so the Qualifio manager side, and we've seen that it happened. It's quite hurtful, but it happens that some of the users, especially in accounts where there are a lot of users, they forget to link an opt-in. Then that's very hurtful, first for legal perspective, because sometimes it's not really an opt-in, it's terms and condition or privacy consent that is being required, or, well, it's really a missed opportunity because you had a really good interaction with the user, and you're not suggesting that he subscribe to the newsletter or to an opt-in for a partner, etc. So that's really quite annoying. So at the moment, we had this only possibility to make it available or not available, so meaning that it can be selected in the campaign by the Qualifio user or not. But from tomorrow, it's not really tomorrow, but in a couple of days on, there will be other states, so available, unavailable, that doesn't change, but the main changes are pre-selected and required or mandatory, meaning that per website, so you know the different website of Qualifio, per website will be able to make for each opt-in a specific state, whether it's already selected when you create a new campaign on the website A, then the opt-ins related to that website will be pre-selected, or they will be mandatory, meaning that if they are pre-selected, they will be already present in the campaign, but if it's not always needed to include them, then the Qualifio user can unlink them. If it's mandatory, well, mandatory required, you get the feeling of what it's going to be doing. You will not be able to unlink them from the campaign. So that's really super powerful to make sure that you do not forget to link the opt-in. So that will require just a bit of configuration at the very creation of the opt-ins, but afterwards it really eases up the campaign creation and especially at the form step and the opt-in step. So that's for a couple of days, as I said, with the 18th of November. Now we have a runner-like format, which is now called the catcher. So as you can see, the principle will be to be moving a small cart basket, around. And just like for the runner, it will be entirely customizable, meaning that instead of a basket, it could be a shopping cart and you get coupons, discounts that are coming, or really any other kind of system where you catch the food for the dogs and not one for the cat because you have a dog, for instance. So really you can catch as many different objects as possible, and negative and positive objects, and the goal would be to have a lot of points at the end of the game. So as I said, this is a runner-like format, so meaning it will be only available via the studio at this point. So we are, of course, next to the runner as well, investigating the possibility to make that available for creation yourself, but that's not yet the case currently. That's also going to be for November. Now, this is a big one, actually. So we are rethinking, refactoring the way that we do pushes and that we manage them in the application. So basically, we will be pushing more data, including questionnaire data that was not always so easy to push beforehand. Now, this is going to change. And just like for the opt-in, we're going to make the pushes depend on the websites, meaning that if you have a campaign running on the website A, then you know that you basically always or almost always going to be pushing your data from this website to your Actito or Splio or whatever other tool you're using, or via a webbook. You're always going to push that. So you will be able to define it per website, make some exception if you don't want to push for specific campaign ABC, but really define it beforehand. And in the campaign edition, you will be able to match some variables to the questions, so that if you have some question that you would like to find back into your CRM, you will be able to do so as well. Just a small heads up, that's really a big refactoring for us. So you will need some kind of request to the teams if you have a current integration and want to use also the questions or this by website by default selection. You will need to be in contact with us so we can migrate your push. But for all new pushes, that will be available by default. And that's for the end of the year, the little Christmas present. And then this is for early 2021, but we're really excited about it. So we wanted to show it already. Basically, last webinar, we talked a lot about the global statistics. Now we're already improving that module with the opt-in conversion in that module, meaning the number of opt-ins. We know there are different types of opt-in that you will be now able to categorize, knowing this is a newsletter own opt-in. This is more an opt-in for partners. Maybe there are other opt-ins that you would not want to calculate here because it's terms and condition or any other type of opt-in that you need at some point. And so we don't mix all the data. So really with this this addition to the global stats module, you will really be able to very much easily calculate a return on investment, maybe only on the new participants. How many opt-ins did you get on this and this campaign on a specific opt-in? Then you will be able to know how many participants you had. So really all kind of data that will be super useful and super helpful to calculate your return on investment. And that is, as I said, for early 2021. And I think that's already time for a little poll. If you want to launch it, maybe Tab, to know basically out of the feature that we presented right now, the full feature presented, which one are you really looking forward to receiving? I see already a lot of traction for the third one, the new data push. That's not a big surprise, to be honest, and that's quite also reassuring for us. To give you a bit more time still.
That really looks like the winner, though, like already. We'll just leave a couple more seconds and then we'll be sharing the results.
I hope you don't hear too much background noise at my end. Basically, if you do, it's my 2-month-old daughter, and sometimes she's not as quiet as you would like her to be. Sorry. Sorry for that, but you know, containment-ish. All right, I think we're good to go here for the poll. So basically, the big winner is the data push with 2/3 of the participants here who are really looking forward to that feature, and a bit less traction for the other features.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So yeah, maybe we can go ahead and take some times for questions now. So if you have any questions for us as Qualifio's product team, just type your questions into the Q&A box in your control panel. It could be about the topics that we've just talked about, like the features that we covered, but it could be like about something else. If
suggestion for an upcoming webinar that we have not covered here.
So why not?
We have a question from Michael here. What will be the price range of developing the catcher game? Well, the price range has not been totally defined yet. So we will be at the around the same area as the one for the runner. So you can get in contact with your CSM for that. But we'll be making sure to communicate that as soon as the game is ready. Maybe if you want more information a bit upfront, we can get in touch and you can send us an email or to your CSM so that we can really get in touch there. But it has not been totally defined yet. Any other question, suggestion? It seems it's so far so good.
Okay.
Tabata was crystal clear. No, we have a new one. Perfect.
Yeah. I still can't open like the Q&A box on my side for some reason, so I'll let you.
So I will do it. Lorenzo is asking if we want to create a runner game, we should contact you. Yes, please do contact your customer success manager. If you don't have his or her email address, please contact our support and we'll be making sure to get in touch with you ASAP. So really support or your CSM and you'll get a very quick reply on that. And another question from Lorenzo. Cool, we have some questions coming. Lorenzo, if you want to create an instant quiz, can we use picture or famous football player? Well, there it's more on your end. It depends a bit on who you are. Basically, I believe it's a bit different if you're really doing this for news content. Then it's more okay. If you're a brand, then you will probably be a bit more. It will be a bit more difficult, but we do suggest that you contact your own legal team because one company is different from another.
Yeah, it's really going to depend on image rights and like the way that your legal department handles all of that. Yeah, we're unfortunately not that qualified in legal stuff. So.
Indeed. All right, Sasha is asking if the objects to catch in the catcher game can be personalized. Yes, they will be personalizable. So we've already made some internal formats to test out the format and find all the bugs before we release it. And we have one with the gift that you've seen. We have one with the viruses because it's a bit of the mood of everybody at this point. So really, yes, this is customizable. You can have various objects and they can all be customized.
Yeah, I think we even had at one point like a basketball catcher game. So really it was like actually basketballs and baskets like from the sports as well. So yeah, everything is going to be personalized. It's going to be a bit like the runner. So mainly I think the customizable assets are going to be like the background, the bonuses, and the things that maybe also the participants have to avoid catching, because there could also be like some things bringing, malice or like negative points. And of course, like the sort of container that is going to catch all the stuff is going also to be customizable.
Yep. And we have some feedback from Michael, who is saying that it was really nice to see all the examples with the instant check. He would like to see more of that in the next webinar. So that's duly
That's
noted.
good to know. Yeah, it was actually, yeah, something that we did a bit different also from maybe other new feature announcement, is that because it's such like a format that gives endless possibilities, it's sometimes a bit difficult to know where to start, or to, you know, like really take the time to think about all of that when it's a new feature, you've never used it. So we figured like it might be a nice touch to send examples right away. But that's a very nice feedback. Thank you. We'll make sure to take this into account.
We have another question from Thomas, who is saying that he has been seeing quite a few new formats, the runner, the catcher, the instant check, which is quite great. Any ideas on the upcoming ones? So there's the catcher, obviously, that is going to be coming. And we also have another one already in mind, which you will need to do a sequence of events, meaning that it's actually a game that's called the Simon or Simon. I don't know if it's actually Simon, but so you know you need to bit like there's a game. I don't know. I don't remember the name of the game, the popular game like that. But basically, you will see a sequence of pressing left, right, top, and then you will need to press left, right, top. To really, it's like kind of a game for the memory game. So yeah, that's one that will be coming after the catcher.
Yeah, that will be more like for, I think, early 2021, right?
Yeah, of course. Otherwise, we would have said it already.
Yeah, that too. Okay. Any more questions? Questions? Okay. Well, if there is no more question, I think we're good. Anything else you'd like to cover? No? Okay. Okay. So I think we're good for today. Well, thank you, everyone. Really appreciate you being here. Thanks again for joining us today, and we will see, or like at least talk to you next time.